So, a new day for you and a new video from me. And just like promised before, I'm sorry, I don't remember who, but somebody asked to make a video how to configure SNMP traps in the Zabbix. So, there we go. What kind of tabs do we have open right now? I have a tab with official Zabbix.com page, then download the sources. We will need it for just a small amount of the time. Then I have my Zabbix frontend. Nothing changed since the last video. It's 4.0.2. I have my CLI here with a CentOS 7, no firewall, no SL Linux, MySQL database, Zabbix agent on the local host. Nothing new, just like usually. Then I have this, zabbix.org. You should remember this from the partitioning video, and we will be indeed using this again just as a guide for this video for the SNMP traps. And we will gonna need this. Start with SNMP traps in the Zabbix. Before we start, what's the SNMP? When it is used? Normally when we talk about SNMP, usually we talk about the network stuff. Devices like switches, routers, firewalls, load balancers, whatever else. And most likely you are used to SNMP agent, which is basically SNMP get, and you are able to choose from 3 versions, SNMP v1, 2c, and SNMP v3, which is kinda the most secure version, and that means that we from point A, which in our case is Zabbix server or the proxy, we are polling the data over SNMP protocol from the network device, which is point B. So we're connecting to device, polling the OID or the MIB, getting the value, closing the connection. SNMP trap is similar. We're still monitoring the network devices, but the communication is different. In this case, with the traps, we, the Zabbix server, do not connect to the network device. Device itself holds the configuration when and where send the SNMP trap when something happens. Something happened with port 1, immediately send the trap to the IP of the Zabbix server. What's the benefit over SNMP agent and SNMP trap? Imagine if you have SNMP agent, which means that it is polling, so we will have some kind of the update interval. Let's say 1 minute. Let's say we have a super critical, super important port or the metric for our company, and we missed it. It failed between the update intervals. We missed it, we don't react, it costs money for the company, and it's pretty bad. But instead, if you are using SNMP traps, as soon as the event will happen on the device itself, of course, will notice that, and device immediately will send a trap to our Zabbix server. And you will receive an email or any other notification, or maybe execute a remote command. So, what do we need to do to begin with? Setting up the firewall? Well, of course, yeah, just make sure that port 162 is available on your Zabbix server. It's UDP between, it's not a TCP. Then we need this line. We need to install a few things, NetSNMP utils, SNMP Perl, and NetSNMP, because despite we are working with a Zabbix, Zabbix works with a native SNMP utilities, which in our cases will be SNMP trap D and the Perl script that will do the magic with the received traps. So just copy paste this line. Yum install -yes NetSNMP utils, NetSNMP Perl, and NetSNMP, and copy paste it to your CentOS or Red Hat CLI. The logic stays the same for the Debian machines, just the names of the packages will differ, and perhaps the location of some of the configuration files. So we installed this. Now let's, yeah, that's it. Let's go back. Then we need our Zabbix sources. Remember this, download, zabbix.com, download Zabbix sources, click here, copy link address, let's paste it here. Yep, it's the one that we need. Just delete the download part and the slash. So you got just the URL for the compressed archive of the Zabbix. Copy it, go to CLI, and download it with a Widget. It will take some time. Then we have it here on our machine. There it is. We need to extract it. So tar -axvf Zabbix 403. Click enter. There we go. Now we have extracted folder, and this one we don't need it anymore. .tar.gz. So we have just Zabbix 403, and what we need is copy from Zabbix 403 misc folder SNMP trap Zabbix trap receiver.pl, and I will paste it to tmp Zabbix trap receiver.perl. So from here I am pasting to here. On your production, of course, don't use the temporary folder for such things. Done. Then I will add execute permissions to the script. Mod plus execute tmp Zabbix trap receiver.pl. Done. So, okay, next we have a script. You will understand what for we need it. Then let's go back to the zabbix.org. We did already this. Then we need to edit snmptrapd.conf. This is the main process, SNMP trap daemon, which will receive a trap from your network device. Not a Zabbix server. Not any kind of Zabbix internal process. It is a SNMP trap daemon that is receiving your traps. So vim etc SNMP trap trapd.conf, and we have nothing here, just comments. So let's add a new lines, and a new lines will be like this. First of all, setting the community name, which will be used for basically authentication, to public, and then each time we receive a trap, we will execute the script. But remember, the location of the script is a little bit different. It's tmp, Zabbix trap receiver.pl. That's it. Save the file. No need to do anything else here. What else? Zabbix server config file. Edit etc zabbix_server.conf snmp search. What do we have? SNMP trapper file. This is not true because wait, not yet. We will let's delete this. You will see a bit later where we will use this. It is tmp Zabbix traps tmp. Then we need to start SNMP trapper equals 1. This will be internal process that will be reading this temporary file where our Perl script will be writing received and translated traps. I will try to visualize it in the notepad when we will save this. So I have SNMP trapper, I have Zabbix traps, cool. Right quit. Then let's edit the tmp Zabbix trap receiver Perl. See, there we have this location Zabbix_traps.tmp that I just specified in the Zabbix server.config file. So what happens? Basically, we have our device that sends a trap to our VM, and the binary SNMP trap D receives it. Then it executes a Perl script which translates the trap in the format that is required by the Zabbix server, basically adding a header, and more or less that's it. After translation, saves it to the TMP, Zabbix traps.tmp. Then remember second ago, in the Zabbix server.config file, we added SNMP trapper internal process. It was 0, we changed it to 1. So this internal process will be responsible to check this file for any new traps. Then how will it distinguish to which host the received trap is actually meant to? Any trap that you will be receiving will contain also IP address, or IP address or a DNS name of the network device which sent the trap. And in your front end, you must have a host with enabled SNMP interface. And when IP of SNMP interface will match with the IP in the trap, here in the Zabbix traps.tmp, then the items of this host will actually receive this trap in the latest data. So let's see how it looks like. I will add a SNMP interface. It was like this. I click small add. It's still a local host IP address. Update. Good. Then let's go back to SNMP traps. Remember we save this. Remember we changed the config file of the Zabbix server, which means that we need to restart systemctl restart zabbix-server for changes to take effect. And we can check psx grep SNMP. And now we have SNMP trapper process started together with our Zabbix server. So this is fine. Then the next, we did this, we have this, we restarted the Zabbix server. The MIB files is absolutely different story. Trap transmission file rotation is also a different story. Testing. How can we test it? We can send the SNMP trap from our machine. And this will be the actually, well, almost this will be the actual sent trap. This is the SNMP trap. And that's how it looks like. This, as example, this string, Zabbix trap, is added by the Perl script. And it is required for Zabbix to actually catch and process the trap as the latest data. And all of this information is actual information from the device or the computer. But before we're testing with SNMP trap, we need to add an item. So let's go back to the front end, to the items on my Zabbix server where I have my SNMP interface, create a new item. I will call it SNMP trap testing. Type of the item always will be SNMP trap, not SNMP v1, 2, 3, whatever else, just SNMP trap. Key, there are just two keys available for the item type SNMP trap, and they are SNMP trap fallback and SNMP trap as a parameter regular expression. If you are using this, then you need to specify a regular expression in the parameters, and if the regular expression will match the trap that you received, then the trap will appear as the latest data under this item. Or if you have SNMP trap.fallback, this item will collect all unmatched traps that are meant to this host. So IP of SNMP interface and the device which sent the traps match, but we don't have any regular expression SNMP trap items, so we will capture this under the SNMP trap fallback. Type of information is text, because, well, it's not a numeric value, it's a trap, it's a bunch of information, bunch of text. Let's add it. Item added, then let's go to the monitoring latest data. Host Zabbix server, search for SNMP. Zabbix, no, not this. Let's make it like this. Sorry, SNMP, trap. Okay, whatever. So we're looking on this item, SNMP trap testing, SNMP trap.fallback, and we don't have any data under this item. So I've added a new item, so I will Zabbix server minus capital R config cache reload. Otherwise I would have to wait 1 minute until the configuration cache is being populated on the Zabbix server, but that's again a different topic. So now we can send the actual test trap, and to do that just copy paste this, no need to change anything. Copy paste here, it's executed. Now we can verify that the trap was processed by the Perl script by viewing the TMP. What was the name of the file? It's not here because we forgot one thing. Systemctl start SNMP trap D. I forgot to start the actual SNMP trap daemon. So started, then execute this once again, and now we should see Zabbix traps.tmp. Zabbix underscore traps.tmp, and there we have our trap that I've just sent with this command from IP 127001 with a header that mentions that it is a Zabbix trap. So right now the Zabbix SNMP trapper checked this file. He sees that there is a Zabbix trap, SNMP trap, from the IP 127001. Do we have a host in the front end with SNMP interface 127001? Yes, we do. Then, what kind of items do we have? We have a SNMP trap fallback, which means that this item will capture any traps meant for the IP of this host, which means that right now we can see the actual trap in the latest data. And we can create our own triggers, which in this case won't be like average or .last, .minimum, higher than something, because those are not integers, this is text, so you will have to figure out your triggers sometimes based on the regular expression, sometimes you don't care what's exactly here. If you receive the trap, it means it's a problem. So sometimes you don't need to analyze the actual text, but simply the presence, the new trap means there is a problem. That's about it. I hope that it explains something. So basically you just need a test. These are very simple things. The script, the Perl script itself is inside any Zabbix sources. It's not in the packages, so you will have to download the Zabbix sources. And it is inside the MISC folder, SNMP trap folder. There it is, Zabbix trap receiver.perl. It's kinda semi-official script. SNMP trap D, you'll have to install it and add just 2 lines to the config file, and make changes in the Zabbix server config file. Make sure that the firewall rules are open, and then check if you have a trap here. That's, let's say, the most .tm. There we go. That's the most complicated part. If you receive the traps here, that means that your device is sending it, your SNMP trap daemon is receiving it, the Perl script is translating it, writing into the files, and if you have it here but don't have it in the Zabbix, check the SNMP interface IP, check the items, SNMP trap fallback or SNMP trap and the regular expression, maybe it doesn't match. And check if you have a SNMP trapper internal process started in the Zabbix and the location to the file is correct and the Zabbix user has the permissions to actually open this file and check for the content. Okay, enough for today. Like, subscribe, comment, whatever else as usually. Thank you for your time, and see you in the next videos. Thank you. Goodbye.